Welcome to Shiftology Live. I'm your host, Terry Wildemann, and I'm the founder of Shiftology and Intuitive Leadership. This is a show where high achieving leaders come to share the real stories behind their most powerful shifts, the pivots, the wake up calls, and the breakthroughs that changed everything. Each episode, we explore what it means to lead with soul, grow with passion, and to reconnect with the truth that they have found. Today's guest is someone who I know and love dearly. Her story deeply aligns with shiftology and pivoting and being able to do different things. And I'm very proud to introduce you to Lucinda Sykes, MD. She's a retired Canadian doctor and a longtime teacher of mindfulness at the Toronto's Meditation for Health Clinic. Since retiring from medical practice, Lucinda continues to speak and coach for the well-being of women 50 plus. Her special interest is helping women to get back to sleep, to get back to deep, natural sleep. Big deal. And peace of mind. Welcome to Shiftology Live, my dear friend
Oh,
Lucinda.
thank you indeed. I'm so glad to meet with you again, Terry. It's wonderful. And I when I received this invitation, I thought it's a brilliant invitation because, heck, I could just talk about my personal story and it would be very relevant to your message.
That's
And
right.
as well, in a different room in the house, there's the fact that, gosh, deepening your sleep is a wonderful idea for the second half of life. So
Oh
there's those
gosh, and we can
two
use.
baskets, two baskets I come with. Yes, yes,
So I know you have a wonderful story, Lucinda, of shifting from
yes.
the medical community to a more holistic lifestyle. Can you share with us what that's all about?
Yes, yes. Well, in a way, it was happening incrementally throughout my medical career. I come from a family of women who couldn't sleep. And I wanted to, become a doctor. And I went to Toronto, the big city. And by gosh, I started to have sleep problems too. Fate was on my side. I got some excellent psychotherapy. I immersed myself in sleep science. Long story short, my sleep now is wonderful. There's no problem. And along the road, I learned a lot about sleep. And this was part of my slow disillusionment in the medical message. Now, don't hear me incorrectly. I'm not dismissing the magnificent power of
Mhm.
medicine. If I'm in a car accident, the first place I want to go is the hospital. And if I
Yes.
want to go strange infectious diseases, by gosh, I'm going to head there too. But there are conditions in life which are not well addressed by the standard approaches of conventional medicine. And I saw that up close and personal. I was in family medicine for years, and then I got developed a special interest in psychotherapy with a focus on stress reduction. So I opened up my clinic, teaching mindfulness-based stress reduction. We ran for 23 years, and my patients were all referred by other physicians for stress-related illness. So that's what
Nice.
I was doing. And it was beautiful in part because I was still within medicine, although in fact, teaching mindfulness in that context was outside of medicine.
Yes.
Again and again, very first session, Terry, I would say to people, ladies and gentlemen, you have come here to fix a problem. And the paradox is we're going to practice mindfulness and fix nothing. And that would always get everybody's attention. And then we would proceed. Because, of course, when we're working in the world of mindfulness and maybe more broadly in the world of awareness and meditative traditions, we're not trying to fix anything and we're not trying to get someplace, but rather we are deepening and opening, relaxing into our deep nature. And this is really the best strategy for most sleep problems, in fact.
Is
Uh,
mindfulness.
well, sleep, and even traditional, conventional physicians will agree, most sleep issues are not medical problems.
Hmm.
There are diagnostic labels that are applied to issues of sleep, but most people do not fit into those diagnostic labels. Even insomnia, you can't diagnose someone as having insomnia unless they have 3 or 4 criteria extending over a 3-month period.
So
But
I'm curious, Lucinda, one of the things that I know is very common in my world with a lot of the people that I interact with is sleep apnea, which gets in the way
yes,
of sleep. It's
yes,
interesting because I'm going to say it. I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, and
yes,
and guess who fixed it? My dentist.
yes, yes,
I got a mouthpiece to
yes,
sleep. And what a difference. My husband can
yes,
sleep. I can sleep. There's no
yeah,
snoring.
yeah,
I do my
yeah.
mindfulness, and it's brilliant.
Yes, and sometimes a good pillow will do the job too, depending on
Oh,
your
I've tried that.
anatomy. Yes,
I did
yes,
everything.
yes. I'm sure you did. I know your energy,
But
Terry.
the mouthpiece worked.
Yes,
The
yes,
customized mouthpiece did work. And
yes.
honestly, I was shocked when I said to my doctor, to my dentist, I'm snoring. I'm keeping my husband up. I'm tired
Oh,
all the time. And she said, well, I can
oh,
fix that.
yes,
And we
yes.
did a sleep test.
That's a diagnostic label that's valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
it's
I
an
was shocked.
important condition.
But most people who have sleep apnea don't realize that their dentist can help them.
Yes. Well, that's. I have an interest in that. I'm interested in all factors of sleep, and
But
we
I'm
could
talking just
talk
about sleep
further.
apnea. That's where I'm
Yeah,
going.
I can talk about that for a while, but I'm not sure that's really why I'm here. The most people, just to cut to the chase,
Mhm.
after about the age of 40, the character of your sleep tends to change.
Ah,
And this is what it is to be a human being. Uh, the sleep tends to shorten and it tends to become a little more fragmented. And but this is it's natural. There's lots of variety, of course. Us human beings are a motley crew, but the sleep science will tell you that sleep changes its character throughout life. The fetus sleeps, the newborn baby sleeps, the 5-year-old sleeps, and then the teenager, and then you're in your 40s and sleep is changing. It's how it works. It's meant to work. It's not that you are sick, it's just that
mhm.
you are living a human life. And you are well served if you are kind to yourself and work with yourself. That's what the Maori do. A wonderful paper came out in 2022. Researchers interviewed older Maori traditional members of their tradition, and they said that to sleep less was natural, and they took it as a time for spiritual and cultural practice. Whereas this is all a paper that came out of New Zealand, Terry. A second group of older New Zealanders of European extraction, they were interviewed about their sleep issues, and they saw it as a medical condition, and they went to their doctor and
Oh,
often ended
wow.
up with pills. And you see, it was entirely about attitude. It was
Yeah.
entirely about attitude because within the Maori culture, there was the natural changes of sleep were well contained and it didn't excite any concern. But in our world, it does.
So are they doing mindfulness? Is that what the key is for them?
Well, this word mindfulness, which bear in mind, I taught MBSR, mindfulness based stress reduction, for decades. The word now is almost meaningless
Oh,
because it's used in so many different ways. Let's speak about open awareness, self acceptance, uh, without needing to judge the moment, without needing to have effort, without trying to change things. It's the efforting, it's the having a goal and trying to change things which disturbs our sleep. The
mm,
sleep scientists call it sleep effort. And
huh.
if you're lying there trying to get to sleep, you will be paradoxically worsening your sleep because anytime we try something, a little bit of stress happens. If I'm trying to open a jam jar, there's a little bit of stress happening as I'm trying to untwist the jar.
Right.
And if I'm lying there trying to sleep, I'm increasing my stress. And you see, sleep is something your body does. Your mind does not do sleep, it's your
Hmm.
body. And if you have activated your mind, gotten it all heated up, then you will be further away from being with your body.
Okay, can we stick with that for a moment? Because that is very
Yes,
interesting. And a lot of people don't really understand that. A
yes,
lot of people don't understand that the mind is still active even when you're sleeping, that it is the
yes,
body that sleeps, that it is the body that is resting, but the mind is still always active, depending on whether they're, theta, beta, whatever level that they're in. So can you talk more about that, please?
yes, it's a fascinating matter.
It is.
It is, because of course my background's in the psychology of Jung, and we love to talk about consciousness and the unconscious and so on, and we can get sort of lost in the vocabulary. So let me
Hmm.
just define things. Um, let me call the mind is that which gives you a
Hmm.
story of myself and what I want to do and what I remember and so on. The story mind, I think most of us would agree, when we are sleeping, the story mind kind of recedes below the horizon.
Hmm.
But you're absolutely right. The fullness of the psyche, the non conscious mind, is still very present. And those of us who have an interest in the spiritual dimension, that's where we swim, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But it's not the story. It's the fullness of the psyche in the, shall we say, the non-conscious way or the hidden psyche.
Hmm.
And that is the level at which sleep occurs. It's very grounded in the body. You could even think of the non-conscious psyche as being an emanation of the body itself, whereas the story mind kind of rides on top, bit of froth on the waves there, and the story mind can separate us from the depths of our body-based experience. And in that way, it can interfere with the natural rhythm of sleep, which every human being has. When we were in mama's womb, we were sleeping for more than half the time. And the little fetus didn't have that goal at all.
So I'm curious, based on what you just shared with us, how do you calm that story mind?
Oh, I love this question. I love this question. Uh, shall I be practical? Let's be very practical.
Sure. Go
Yes,
there.
my clients love sleep stories. We'll
Mhm.
go right into practical methods. So, and again, CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, it's the gold standard treatment of insomnia these days in real medicine, modern medicine. CBTI is the way to go. And they encourage us after 10 or 15 minutes, if we can't sleep, to get out of bed. Don't be looking at the clock. Get out of bed, have a comfortable spot in your home, and do something relaxing. Keep the lights low. Maybe you're going to, one of my clients loves to read children's books.
Oh my
She
God.
reads children's books. Another lady is folding laundry. Another has a puzzle next to her bed. And if you try this out, after a few minutes, don't watch the clock. Who needs a clock? You're going to get sleepy and then you go back to bed.
And isn't
And
it
it's not a
key?
fight.
Isn't it also key to stay away from blue light? Stay
Yes,
away from the
don't be
phones,
turning
stay
on
away
any
from the
screens.
TVs, stay away from the devices completely.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you see, the mind body at that deep level doesn't really like screens, does it?
Right.
I spend a lot of my day in front of the computer, and when I, later in the day, I pay attention to that deeper level, and it's sort of saying, let's get away from that computer anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But technology can assist us. So quite rightly, when I say read a story, I'm saying be old fashioned. Get yourself a paper book and enough light that you can read the paper book, and you can feel it and even smell it, and you
So
spend some
what you're
time.
telling me is do not, you can't see it, but I have my Kindle in my hand.
I
Don't read
wouldn't.
my
No.
Kindle.
You don't want a screen, because your brain has to do extra work to make sense of all this digital information
Right.
coming at it.
Got it.
But let me again give you a very practical suggestion. Modern life has given us something called sleep stories,
Mhm.
and these are recordings of narratives. And you can find sleep stories even on YouTube. You can also purchase access
Mm.
online. And a sleep story is designed to help adults relax and fall asleep.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yes, and they are very effective. Many of my people swear by them. Uh, you can even check it out on YouTube. Although the devil with using a sleep story from YouTube is after a few minutes, it's going to give you a commercial and you're going to wake up and
Uh,
okay,
unless
but
you have the paid version.
that's what I recommend. And by the way, I don't know this chap. The guy's name is Stephen Dalton. And
Mhm.
many of my people like Stephen Dalton, who has a lot of sleep stories on YouTube. And yes, get the paid version and then you won't be woken up. You can also go to sites like calm.com, get a sleep story. You can even get an actor reading.
Calm meaning CALM, not
That's correct.
not the
Yes.
dot COM.
Yes, or Headspace is another place you can get, and it's called a sleep story. I would advise against using meditation apps because then everybody's trying to meditate. I was trying to meditate and it didn't work. You don't want any trying. You want to be listening to this beautiful voice, maybe there's a little background
I
music,
love it.
and this beautiful voice is telling you about going to the museum or walking through the forest. And you can just kind of participate, and they often give you lots of sensory information, and it's very calming, and you fall asleep.
That's brilliant. And so, in other words, if I understand you correctly, in my world, I would say just be, just
Yeah,
be, let go, just
yes,
be, take deep breaths, shift into your heart, just be, and just, usually, not sometimes what I've used, I love your perspective on this. I will say to folks, imagine a blackboard like we had when we were kids, or a whiteboard today, whatever,
yes,
and an eraser that just cleans everything
yes,
out and just be. There's nothing on there. And just erase it temporarily, because some people freaked out when I taught this once. They're like, "Oh, you're erasing my
yes,
mind." I go, "No,
Terry.
I'm not erasing your
Oh,
mind."
oh yes.
I go,
Yes,
"No,
you're well positioned to offer guidance in this way.
you know,
Uh, and the tricky part, and I'm sure you are well aware of this, the tricky part is that when you're doing it, you introduce a little bit of ambition and striving. And
mm,
that's why it's nice to have someone else do the doing for you. So you're
yes,
listening to the recording or the guide,
yeah,
and they are not trying to get you to go any place.
that's
So
right.
they're not even trying to get you to get relaxed. They won't be saying, now calm down, relax. And yeah, because anytime you're trying to get somewhere or do
Yeah.
something, we're going to have a little effort, especially those of us in modern life. Heck, we're all using effort. And
Mm-hmm.
the converse is that when you are settling into those depths of sleep, effort will be a distraction. It will be a disturbance.
So just let go and be.
Yes. And even you see the direction of letting go, there will be people saying, Terry, I tried to let go, but I couldn't do it.
And that's a fact. That does happen.
Yes.
I know
And
that.
this is it.
We've
Yes.
had this
There it is.
conversation before.
Yes. Yes. We're pals in this. Yes. You once to simply offering a suggestion that you do the easiest of things, which is to take the tennis ball and let it drop.
Okay. Boom.
Just you
Boom.
just kind of let gravity have its way with you.
Mhm.
But the poor people, they hear the instruction and they don't know how to hold the tennis ball. They worry, is this the right tennis ball, and so on. And instead we just want to let nature do what it wants to do.
Well, Lucinda, that was a mic drop. Bam, mic drop. So on that note, I would love to
Beautiful.
ask you to please share with the audience uh, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, sign on for Happy Sleep Secrets. You'll get a PDF of really, really true, what do they call it, sleep hygiene. See, the
Nice.
sleep scientists have done a lot of work for us, and they will tell you some basic rules that will help you prepare to sleep. Now, the sleep hygiene is not telling you, it's not a tip of how to get to sleep, but it lays down the basics. So if you sign on for my PDF, Happy Sleep Secrets, then you will get my my emails. And
And where do they get that?
Happy Sleep Secrets, you can sign on there. You can just lucindagift.com.
Okay,
Lucindagift.com. Sign
excellent.
up. I'm happy to send, or the machine will send you Happy Sleep Secrets. And then I'm very happy to send you an automation of emails that I sincerely hope are useful for you.
Brilliant,
And if
brilliant,
there's any
brilliant.
problem with lucindagift.com, the longer URL is happysleepsecrets.com. But who can remember that?
Brilliant.
Lucinda
Well,
Gift.
it'll be underneath in the
Okay.
comment
Yeah,
section underneath
that's
and
how to
give
stay
them.
in touch with me. Yes.
So this has been an amazing conversation. I
Ah,
always love talking with you. This is, I think, the third time I've interviewed you, and you're always a joy. And I really want to thank you for sharing your wisdom, your truth, because shifting from an MD to the holistic practice, I know is a big deal.
yes.
And that shift basically brought you back again to Shiftology Live, and I'm very
Yes.
grateful for that. So, if this episode resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. What shift is intuitively calling you right now? You don't have to
Yes.
navigate it alone. So, I would love for you to subscribe to the Shiftology Live platform, and you can listen to it on your favorite platform. So, just subscribe, hit that little subscribe button underneath. And if you're ready to reconnect with your intuition, your purpose, and your inner power, join me in the Prosperity Power Network or explore one of my retreats. I'm Terry Wildemann. Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep honoring your shift into your success.